What up, everybody? So, got a cool show for you today. Let's go on and get this show started. All right, all right.
Financial advice is as blurry as a wild night of cheap jello shots. Clear your head and your monetary halitosis with the About That Wallet Show, hosted by Anthony Weaver. Leave those jello shots for the amateurs and learn to indulge in the top shelf bottles, baby. Now, here's your host, Anthony Weaver.
All right. So, this show is going to help you build and start your budget. So, because this is your first time trying to look for debt, I have the awesome tool that will help you, which helped me to get out of debt. Because right now you're figuring out, like, hey, I got a lot of debt right now. I do not know where to start. But before we get into that, I want to say that this particular episode is, I won't say it's sponsored by, but we are affiliate for them, is Earth Breeze. Because with Earth Breeze, you can actually use these laundry sheets to actually dissolve pretty nicely in water, and they make it easy to carry and store. Because I'm actually about to travel over to a whole nother state, and it makes it a lot easier to pack with me. I can wash my clothes while I'm there without bringing huge laundry detergents or even trying to find those pocket sizes for anything like that. I can bring the whole thing. So by having that easy to use, nice and easy to store away and carry with me, I say this is the best product for you and your family if you guys are planning on traveling. Now, we're talking about budgeting. One of the things about budgeting is that you need to figure out where to start. One of the things that I did when I had a problem, I was trying to find a solution and I tried all these different things. People have so many different ways of doing it, but I'm going to show you the way that that has been proven to me, and hopefully it will help you out as well. So, what I would like for you to do, if you're driving right now, it's fine. This is a recording. You can always go back. I want you to go head on over to my website. It's aboutthatwallet.com/store. And with that opportunity of checking out the store, you can go all the way down to the bottom and click on the Simple Budget Calendar. The Simple Budget Calendar is a tool, it's a ebook that you can download, go on and start utilizing it today. The price for it is $5, just an even $5. You can download it, has 8 pages. But the cool thing about it, though, you can always print it out again. I kept the pages empty so that you can continue to use this for any budget throughout the year. I hate looking at calendars because they have empty squares and they they have the numbers in it and the year set up, so then you're locked in only for that year. However, with this simple budget calendar, you write in the dates that you start. So say if you want to start October 12th, you can start your calendar in October. You are not bound by January like everybody else. Your calendar day starts with your budget day. Let's make that day today. So by the time you're listening to this episode, hopefully you already have some inkling of where your money is at. And if you don't, it's okay. Because one of the things about figuring out where your money is at is understanding that, hey, knowing that your money is where it's supposed to be is the number one thing. So when you're looking at your budget, you want to first figure out all your accounts. Okay. Number one, for those of you who are listening, go on and type in accounts right now in the chat, because we want to make sure we get everything in there. The first thing you want to do is know where your money is at. If you have no clue where your money is at, you're not going to go anywhere, because you need to start at the basics. This is pretty much getting out of debt 101. Know where your money is at. Okay. It's like that website or that commercial back in the day where it's being like, hey, it's 10 o'clock. Where's your money at? where your child is at. I'm doing, hey, it's 8 o'clock. Where's your money at? Okay. So make sure you know where all of your accounts are located. Number two, now that you know where your money is at, I want you to go ahead on and start making a plan. Okay. You want to make a solid plan. Where do you want to go with your money? Do you building this budget out so that you can tell your money, hey, in 5 years, I want you to go ahead on and pay off all my debt? Are you telling your money in the next 6 months, I want you to take my family on a vacation? Or are you saying in the next year or 12 months, maybe even 4 months, I want to marry the person that I'm in love with? This is what a budget is for. It's there to guide you. It's there for you to tell your money where to go. Now that you got the number one, which is to know where your money at. Number two, you know the plan. Number three, you need to sit down and carve out time to write it all down. Okay. Now that you know where all your accounts are located, you know where you want to go with your money. You need to now sit down, carve out 30 minutes out of your day. You might need to do an hour. Sit down with a simple budget calendar, or you can sit down with a calendar. You need to write this thing out. I know people like to do it digitally, but we will get there. You need to sit down with a sheet of paper and pen, put that joint in hand, and start writing out your bills. The first thing that you want on your budget, no matter who you are, you need to know what is your bill. You know what your expenses are. The first thing you need to put on your budget. In fact, I'm going to try to put something out here. So we're just going to write this down. We're just going to do this together. The first thing that you want on your budget is your monthly expenses, which is your car. Okay. You can either your car, which is, we can call this just your transportation. Once you know what your transportation is, we can go ahead on and start talking about what is your housing, whether you're renting, whether you're renting or owning your home or just staying with a friend. If they're nice enough to just give you free stay, you can put $0. It's fine. Then you got to put down how much food you're spending per month, right? The next thing you need to do is start adding in. So you got your house, you have your transportation, you have your food, and last thing you need is your utilities. Now, sometimes people will say like, "Well, your utilities is all included," and blah blah blah. So that's fair. So right now, I'm actually need to reverse my camera so you guys can look like I'm following on. All right. So right now, I actually opened up Excel, or if you have a Mac, it's called Numbers. And I like to use some of these templates that they have, and you can search for a template inside certain platforms. With the Mac, you look for they usually have templates somewhere. I forgot where they do the templates at in this thing. Oh, I need to do a new one. New. So that for those of you who are watching, I'm not sure if it's showing, but I want to do some of these basic formulas so that you can see what a basic calendar or budget. And they have something on this on numbers called, what they call this thing. They call it budget. Let's just call it a simple budget. I don't want to fill this air up. So with that budget, they have this lovely tool here that talks about like your paycheck, how much you make in monthly. So you know what your paycheck is because that's what you're using, right? And because you're using that way, let me do it that way. Okay, so now I can share my whole screen, so you get to see what I see in real time. All right. So you have your paycheck, your digital income, and actually your total income. That's fine. You know what your money in looks like. Now your money out, it's gonna vary from thing to thing. So if you're just watching this show, it's okay. We're gonna go through this. Your money out, you know what your housing expenses are, you know what your groceries, your transportation, your utilities, your dining and travel, your entertainment, and then your education. Like, what are you investing in? We can put on here $5 just to get your simple budget calendar. Go ahead on and download that today and start looking at that. We cover all of this. And then money left over, which is your money in minus your money out. So your income minus your expenses will give you your money left over. So, and this one is very simple. They don't give you any type of formulas or anything. So with this one being a very simple budget, is really simple. Which I thought was weird that they just kind of keep it simple if you know your numbers. But this is one if you already know your numbers. I wouldn't call this simple. I would call this more of an advanced budget, mostly because you have to know your stuff. Unless you want to do rough numbers, you can use this particular budget tool. Now, for those of you who are watching again, and those of you who are listening, um, this is just I'm just going over numbers just to show that you can use these tools. If you do not utilize the downloadable one where you can write things down, you can actually utilize this these tools that are out there. Now that you already understand like how simple these things are, you can just start using one of these, print it out, fill it out, and go that way. If you guys like digital format, please let me know. Drop it down in the comments. If you listening to this on Spotify, you can actually just leave a comment on this particular episode to let me know, like, hey, you're really looking for a digital option, and I will make sure I'll create a digital budget so that you can have it. And I'll actually make the digital version because you said so. Or if anybody says that they want it, then I'll go ahead on and create one for you and make that nice and easy. So let's look at some of these other options that they have here. We did the simple budget, but sometimes we just need a little bit more, um, oomph in our personal finances. Just kind of make it seem a little bit better. So now they got this thing here. They call it the monthly budget template right here. They say how to enter your budget for each category in the summary by category table below. Enter transactions on a transaction sheet. And so you can see the actual spending compares to your budget. Now, these things are great. So, just kind of make things a little easier. I'm not a fan of some of these here. So they talk about your auto, your entertainment, your food, your home, medical, personal items, your travel, utilities, and other. Obviously, you can keep adding things on. And then what you're budgeting versus your actual, and then you can see the difference. So remember, we were talking about keeping the end in mind. Now you have a tool that kind of helps mimic that particular end in mind. So when they talk about the budget meaning like when you get your income, you already know where your money's going to go. You're saying, hey, I want $200 to take care of my auto. If that's if you actually pay for like gas for your car, you're talking about the um, actual car note and your monthly payments. So you can bundle that all together. That's your budget. Now that you're moving on to what your actual is, that's where we start getting into the notion of what can I what did I actually spend for that month? And now you end out. Okay. So same thing with entertainment. Do you really need to spend $200 for entertainment, but you actually spent $32, which is good because you already budgeted out. So that money can stay inside your account. Now, we talked about all of these things. So you see all these different categories that they got here on the side. Depending on how you are, like I said, I'm gonna give you multiple options here. Depending on how you are, you might want to start thinking about how to, I don't know, how do you say, um start making different bank accounts for each category. So by doing so, you are able to, by having each bank account set up for different things, you don't have to worry about being part of this whole notion that, you're stuck and you just don't know, "Well, I thought I budgeted for it." No, you can actually divvy out your paychecks as they come in. This is more an advanced feature. So that's said, there's levels to this budgeting thing. So you can actually set up a bank account for each of these categories. Set up a bank account for your auto, take a bank account for your entertainment, a bank account for your food, or you can just keep it as your main checking account or your savings account. Then you're gonna have a budget, create an account for your home, create an account for your medical, personal items, and so on. Now, when it comes to travel, I mean, I call that, hey, that's my travel fund. And I do have an account called my travel fund. I usually put that in a high yield savings account because, I want to make sure I maximize my entertainment. Because, when I party, I'm partying up, regardless of if it's just me or not. Or if it's just you. If I'm partying up here locally and, what I'm saying, it's just you and I here on this live stream, that's what we're going to do. We're going to party it up, right? So, um, so make sure that you have your stuff together and know where you want to go. So if this is your first time looking at a budget and it just seems so overwhelming, all these numbers and everything like that, it's okay because most of these banks and programs are predatory. Okay. I'm not predatory. I'm here to help you read through the fine line. And you know that your budget is there to save you. If you feel as though these companies are out there for you, then you need to educate yourself. I'm here to help, and I'm here to help you go to that next level, to feel comfortable when you look at your bank statements, to feel comfortable when you get that credit card statement or when you get your auto bill, to see exactly what's going on. When you look at your home, this is a big one. A lot of people don't even know that they are on a APR or adjustable percentage rate. If you're on the APR, you can actually slide that over to a fixed rate without having to refinance that loan. They don't have on here student loans, but they should have. It should have been on all these templates. But student loans is another one. So I'll put that in a whole nother category. I wonder if I can pull up um, my old bills so y'all can actually see what my student loans were looking like. See if I can do a new window. Cause I used to be running these things, boy. I mean, these spreadsheets is my jam. I'm not gonna pull it up right now. But what I did was I had it in separate categories for each month of the year, did a summary page so I can go ahead on and get this lovely graph here. Now, for those of you who are watching, if you're on a Windows machine, you can actually go ahead on and use Excel. They have some pretty cool templates there, so check those out. As you see here, they talk about the transactions. So you can actually use these different categories and they put them in like a little drop down and make it nice and easy. So if this is you who want to make sure that you track everything, like, hey, like today, I know these dates are old, but you can say today, which is 11, no, it's not even 11, 10, 12, 2023. What do we spend money on today? Spend some money on some snacks. Y'all know I like snacks. And what I'll put that under entertainment, but I'll put that on food. So I spent snacks, and I'll say, I'll just put on here lunch. I did about lunch today, and I spent $18. Expensive lunch, right? $18. It's about $18 or whatever. All right. So nice and easy. I just do this one thing at a time. So it's just like when you think about it like the toilet paper roll, right? You clean out a toilet paper roll one sheet at a time. It might be that 2-ply. Some of you got that single ply because I'm not counting your pockets, but it is what it is. Might get that finger through with that single ply. You might need to save up and budget for that 2-ply, but we're going to help you out here. All right. So we're going to help you get that 2-ply toilet paper because I do not need to start shaking hands with people who got doo-doo fingers. That's a big no. Like, yeah, we don't want no doo-doo fingers around here, okay? No doo-doo fingers. No. So we talked about getting where you can go to try a few things. Now you're asking me, like, well, Anthony, aren't all the banks horrible and they like to take all my money? Yeah. And I'm like, well, they like to take your money, but also educate you at the same time. So, cool places that I like to go to get some money, to learn about some budgeting tools. So you're like, hey, I want budgeting tools from Experian. Experian has some pretty cool budgeting personal finance tools. Now they talk about some accounting apps, like you can use a YNAB that's out there. If you like apps, let me know in the chat. I'm not a big fan of apps. It's probably simple. You can just read up on these things. But if you're looking for educational books, I'm sorry, I'm jumping things. Talk about apps. The apps that they're looking at, they don't say anything on this page about apps. It's interesting. Oh well. Let's see what we're gonna say. Apps. But I think for the most part, let's start there. And what I want to say is that ultimately you need to educate yourself. You need to sit down and really think through what it is that you ultimately want to get out of life. Now, having a budget is amazing. It's the most wonderful thing you could ever do to yourself. It is the best return on investment. And most people want a return on investment on their money, but they don't think about the return on investment of their time. Now, if you keep saying that time is money, then make time to make money. Okay. So take time to know where your money is at and take time to plan where you want it to go. Take time out of your day and go ahead on and write that in. All right. So it's coming up to about the half-hour piece. So please make sure that you go ahead on and like, subscribe if you already been here already. If you're brand new to the show, welcome. My name's Anthony Weaver, and this is kind of what we do here on the show. We help you with a little bit of information up front, and then we have a nice little drink session, and then we talk about life events, what's going on in the world, what's going on in your world. How can we help each other get better in our financial journey? Now that we are in the journey, we're talking about our wallet all at the same time. All right. If you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to go on and give us a call at 833-699-2558 So we can go ahead on and listen to your comments live if you have anything about how you started your budget and how has it impacted your life, because everybody's budget is a little different and everybody's life is pretty precious to them. So I don't want to make sure that you leave here today without a knowing what a budget is, where to go start a budget, or even how to start a budget, because you can purchase yours today, or you can even start yours today with for free. However, like I said, mine is print out, pencil and paper. You need to do the work. Digitally, it's easily to, you know, forget it. We have a lot of files in our phones even that we forgot that we even had it. It's sad. So I want you to have something that's printable. You can see it. You can post it up on a wall. You can say, hey, am I on track to hit my goals today? Am I on track to, take my family on that vacation? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do today so that I can have a better future tomorrow? All right, everybody, it's that half an hour spot. So you know what time it is. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So let's go on and get to it. You know it. All right, all right, all right. Hey, hey. Uh Armor Saint, thank you for coming through, saying the drinks, because you know what time it is. So today I'm actually am not drinking because I do have sore in my mouth and I cannot have drinks because I'm taking like antibiotics and other pills and stuff like that. But the reason why I want to do a peace drink, and again, when we're talking about why we drink, last week I was talking about you drinking to be happy that you're here. You're drinking for whatever successes that you've accomplished in life. You're drinking for those who aren't here. You're drinking because you want to give thanks to yourself, to your body, to your soul, to others. And I'm drinking a toast to somebody that I've worked with, um, who has always put a smile on my face every time I saw them. We shared stories. We had um, moments where we would just sit there and laugh. Um, Great guy. And he was in the Navy. Well, actually, he is in the Navy. And what they do, they have to have a physical activities, like go out there and play out with the fellas, play out with the team members, and do fun activities. And he was one of those guys that were really supportive of the team, regardless of how he'll talk to you. The sailor's mouth is a sailor's mouth. Cursing and bashing you, but it's all in love. And I have to say that it's it's sad to miss out on some to be. I won't say it's sad well, actually, it is. It is sad to see somebody go. One, to leave where you work at, to see your buddy go away. But also, it's also sad, but you also, I'm sorry, you're also happy for them to move on to other areas. So it's like a love hate relationship. You're selfish. You want to be selfish in that moment, and cherish what they have and what they brought to your life. But also, you don't want the to go away. And so, having a drink, it's almost like, hey, I'm having a drink with you, even though you're not here with me right now, and having a drink, regardless of what liquid you're drinking. I'm drinking water. You could be drinking rum and Red Bull. It's your thing. Um, but you know, we lost one of well, I actually lost one of my I would say team members. You know, he was actually part of the team. He brought a lot of energy to the space where I worked at, and yeah, I just want to have a moment of silence um, for him. And the drink is actually in honor of him because he goes by the name of Momo. And Momo, for those of you who don't know, in Japanese actually means peach. And so hence the peach drink for today. And I really would love to taste this. But when I do taste this on my live and you see me drinking this peach drink, it's in honor of him. Um, to have that moment again that we used to share when we worked together. Before he had moved on just earlier this year. And now he has moved on again to a resting place, a forever resting place that maybe we'll bump into each other in the future. So I want to at least take a minute of silence for him. Thanks. All right. Thank you guys for that moment of silence for him. I didn't know him too well, but like I said, it's all I know was Momo, and he he loves his team. So, all right. Okay. Yeah. So the cool thing about with Momo, one of the things that we did discuss a lot was talking about business. And he was talking about how he was getting his photography together and he took some really cool shots. Um, and I want to take a moment to log into Instagram because most of his stuff is still up on Instagram. And his last post, um, I just need to find his account. So just give me one moment here. Um, yeah, sorry. Hey, here you go. Thanks for stopping by. Um, yeah, so for those of you who just tuned in, we just got finished through a moment of silence um one of the people that lost their lives just yesterday. There was a team member who recently left the organization and just passed away on a just routine workout. So yeah, it's no worries, but it's like a segment. I just want to honor him in his collaboration and what he was doing for the team and what he was all about. Like I said, I didn't even know him like that closely, but the fact that he had such an impact, even on my life in just a few months, it's a lot. So yeah, thanks. Um, so what I'm trying to do, I'm going to show you his page, his photography, his passion outside of the military. So obviously, this is my page. I looked him up. So, like I say, he put here as a photographer. You know, he had some really cool shots. He had a keen eye of, you know, just everything. So you never know. Yeah. I was actually remember he was showing me this one and he was like super excited about this, even though it's showing 3 years ago. But he loved himself some, as you can see, some paintballing, you know, hanging out with the fellas. And, you know, very active guy, very cheerful. So, but I don't know how I'm so emotional for a guy that I didn't really get a chance to meet, like outside of work. But the fact that he had goals, he had a lot to deal with. And he didn't share a lot about his personal life, but you can tell it was just full of love, full of jokes, because he always made fun. But he's never forgotten. So I'm at the end this one early. I don't think I have much to say at the end of this one. But life is short. Don't waste it.